When God of War director Cory Barlog straight up confronted EA about their utterly moronic statement on how people allegedly don't enjoy linear single-player experiences anymore as much as they did 5 or 10 years ago, he put himself in a position where he had to put his money where his mouth was. In case you don't recall, I'm referring to a tweet he posted back in November 29th, 2017, through which he called out EA's claim as utter nonsense. He was honestly one of few, if not the only prominent game developer who spoke out about this, and it was something that I greatly admired about him, as it showed his confidence and passion for his work. Then, 5 months after the tweet was posted, God of War launched and it shattered all expectations. Not only is it currently one of the highest rated PS4 titles of all time in terms of Metacritic score and user score, the game also went on to sell a whopping 3.1 million copies in a mere 3 days, setting the record for the fastest selling PS4 exclusive ever by a vast margin. Just for reference, Uncharted 4 sold 2.7 million units in a week, Horizon Zero Dawn sold 2.6 million units in 2 weeks, and Last of Us shipped 3.4 million units in 3 weeks back when it first launched on PS3. Despite its slower sales, Uncharted 4 still managed to push around 9 million units, so it's safe to say that in its current pace, God of War will easily surpass the 10 million units mark in its entire lifespan. But as if all that wasn't enough, a recently updated sales report on the acclaimed title by the MPD Group has revealed that God of War crushed yet another record. The game has apparently now achieved the highest ever launch month dollar sales for a title launched exclusively on a PlayStation platform. That's right, not only is it the best performing exclusive on PS4, it's also the best performing exclusive on any PlayStation platform ever. It is, with no exaggeration, set to become Sony's most successful first-party game yet, which is no small feat considering how many other renowned franchises the publisher has under its belt. A few days after this information was made known by the NPD Group, Sony itself confirmed just how successfully God of War sold throughout its debut month. During a recent investor relations meeting, Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO John Codera provided a specific number. God of War sold over 5 million units during its first month on sale. It goes without saying that Sony is very happy about the title's sales performance. Soft rebooting the franchise and changing up the formula so drastically was no doubt a bold decision on both Sony and Cory Barlog's part, but most people agree that God of War has matured as a series for it, similarly to how Kratos has matured as a character, and it's something that's resonated with both God of War veterans and newcomers alike. So yeah, I'd like to see EA and similar publishers claim now how people don't enjoy single-player games as much as they used to 5 or 10 years ago, when a single-player game in 2018 managed to receive unprecedented acclaim and outperform all PlayStation exclusives released in the past 2.5 decades. I'd like to see news outlets buy into the bullshit that single-player games are a dying breed. It's just as Cory Barlog said in a recent interview with IGN. Yes, multiplayer games like Fortnite are very popular right now, but that doesn't mean everything else goes away. It doesn't mean that single-player games are becoming extinct. It's not about single-player and multiplayer games competing against each other. It's not about one being alive and the other being dead. It's just an ebb and flow throughout time. For every massively successful multiplayer game like Fortnite, there will be massively unsuccessful multiplayer games like Lawbreakers. For every massively successful single-player game like God of War, you're going to get your Mass Effect Andromedas. The fact of the matter is that if you give consumers a compelling, high-quality product, they'll flock to it, and you don't need to implement shady, psychologically manipulative forms of monetization to make your games financially viable. That's one of the things that pisses me off most about the false narrative that single-player games are dying. It's an excuse that companies are using to justify their forced implementation of live service schemes, or decisions like halting development of a linear, story-driven, single-player Star Wars game halfway through to repurpose it into a more live service type of experience. But games like God of War will stand as a testament against such nonsensical claims, a bastion of hope for narrative-driven single-player games from here to the ends of time. proof that single-player games will always be able to coexist with their multiplayer brethrens and succeed both critically and financially. With that, I would like to end this news update. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoy my content, consider supporting me on Patreon. It is completely optional, but donating even as little as $1 a month will go a long way in helping maintain this channel. And to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Yong Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Yong out!